Yo, what's up, guys? So it is August 8th, 23, and we have another session of game night. I'm super excited this week. I think that some of the stuff that we're going to end up talking about is going to be really cool. Some of you guys might have missed World's Wednesday last week. Excellent, Twitter space. We had the opportunity to talk about a number of things that was going on in not only the Web3 community but in the Cardano community, and it was pretty amazing. Um, JL brought in a ton of awesome topics. I think that we did a pretty good job of discussing everything that was going on last week. Bear with right now. I'm trying to get out the announcement on Discord, but my Discord application on desktop is not performing particularly well. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that manually. And then from there, we'll get things started. And so there's a couple of things that have been happening this week that are definitely notable. And we have, of course, some stuff to talk about that is in relation to Worlds Within. And we have some stuff to talk about that's fragment oriented, right? And the cool part about that is that I feel like as time goes on in this current bear market, we're gonna see a situation where it's the stuff that we're creating is slowly going to. I'm sorry, I just heard an echo with myself and I couldn't do it. So the stuff that we're creating currently, while I think that eventually people are going to start to notice that this project is definitely a diamond in the rough, where it's we continue to build, we continue to show up regularly, and yeah, I'm excited about it. Um, so I'm sending out the message now, and like I said, I've been having issues with Discord all day today, a ton of latency when it comes to sending messages and whatnot, but we're gonna make it through, and we're gonna talk about some cool gaming stuff. And yeah, I think it's gonna be good. There's lots of stuff to talk about, and yeah, and then next week well, I don't know what we're gonna do next week, but as of right now, lots of stuff to talk about. But definitely want to add JL since he just arrived, and yeah, yo, what's been up, man?
Yo, it's your boy Awesome as JL, aka the biggest music artist in the metaverse. What is good, my guy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm pretty excited about this week. I think that there's a lot of stuff that's happening in Web3 that's super interesting. I love the new background, man.
Yeah,
Definitely a look.
yeah,
It's definitely a look. I
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
So it's a vibe, man. You know how to
It
switch it
definitely
up.
is. Yeah.
Had to get the worlds, man. I had to scavenge for this one. I was
Yeah,
like, I was
man.
like, this is exclusive right here. I gotta get this. This is exclusive wallpaper. Had to get that.
Um, Definitely. So I'm sending out the announcements now. I was having issue um, with Discord for a while there, but it's finally starting to work for me. And yeah, um, I'm super excited about this week. I do want to talk about some of the stuff that's been happening on Cardano, man. I don't know if you know.
I've been hearing a few
Oh
things.
man,
I seen something about Music
Oh,
Swap and
dude, it has been chaos.
this is going crazy. Bro, all I seen was them charts. I seen that TNA pop up. I'm like, what is this? Like, I seen huge dips out here. I'm like, what's going on, man?
It has been a rough week on Cardano last week, man, and it's I don't know if it's getting better or not, but at the same time, I think that what's cool about what we do is that we're builders, right? And we often talk about people who show up to actually build with genuine intention, meaning that week after week, no matter what's happening on Cardano, the stuff that we're making is accessible. The stuff that we're making makes it so that people who want to play games can definitely play games on Cardano. And so the stuff with Moodley Swap happened. We had the situation with Zenitsu Dragons, right? I can't pronounce the name of it. But then we also had something happen to blockchain mages. And
Yeah, I just
I was
seen
a
that.
fan of blockchain
I
mages,
just
man.
seen that too. That's
And
crazy. Hey man, they jumped in and jumped out. Like, what is what's
what happened? Like,
I have no idea, man.
And so, you know, I do want to do a little bit of house cleaning before. So let's talk about Worlds, guys. Fragment accounts are on the way. I'm supposed to have a demo ready for you this week. I talked to Kenny recently. He has them accessible, but I need to make sure that before I show it to you guys, that this demo goes right because we're gonna put this out everywhere when it's time. Second thing, I'm hoping that you guys not just support Worlds Within, but I'm hoping that you guys start supporting all the Fragment games. We do want to feature the Heartbreak Club game on this channel, and we definitely want to feature, you know, the stuff that we're going to be doing with Fragment as an overarching Web3 entity. So that means all the games that we make, we want to be able to feature on the Worlds Within channel. And eventually we'll probably spin up a Fragment channel to discuss everything that we're doing across the board. But as for right now, Worlds Within is the central hub that we have to where we build from, right? And I appreciate everyone that tunes in. You know, we're still running strong with Worlds Wednesday. I was just saying that last week, Worlds Wednesday is one of the best that we've had. Great topics, JL. You did a fantastic job, bro. I feel like this is the type of momentum that we have. We're having great conversations. We're having fantastic game nights. And so, yeah, the only thing we need to do for game nights is soon start introducing the gameplay. Right now, we're talking about gaming topics. But next week, I think we can start, once we get the Fragment accounts ready, we can start diving back into the gameplay. And that way we can have that interaction like we're used to. So,
Yo, hey,
let's jump into it, man.
real quick though, we got to shout out Cavelli White, man, for making that dope song for Worlds Within, man. I actually had the pleasure of having him on Beast on Air last week. Yeah, man, he just, he got inspired, man. He literally said, he's like, man, the stuff y'all been doing daily, man, just really motivated me, and I just wanted to make something for the fam. I'm like, oh, that's what's up. So shout out to Cavelli White, man. He made an absolute banger, and that's one of the music rap artists that we have on Cardano. I think he's cross-chain as well, but he's primarily on Cardano. So shout out to Cavelli White. That was amazing. Shout out to 2Illy as well. I think 2Illy did the production, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. And if you haven't heard it, guys, jump on Twitter, jump in the Discord. I was just thinking the other day that we need to make a area of the Discord that features stuff from the community. That's one of the places that we're definitely dropping the ball. We did tweet out the Cavelli White song that he released. It is fire. We should use that for the intro.
We should. We should definitely use that for the intro. That's fire.
We should use that for the intro. So definitely going forward next week, be on the lookout. The Cavelli White Worlds Within song is definitely going to be on the intro. Probably use it for the outro as well. I'm gonna touch base with him real quick, but I think that the song's fire. I think he did a great job, and I appreciate anytime people from the Worlds community step up and create stuff. That is massive. It definitely provides motivation, and that's the thing, guys. We're here building with you. So any creators in the community, we're literally here to build with you. Also, so let's jump into it. All right. Give me 1 second. I need to check something. That my phone is going crazy. Right. All right. So people talking about nothing in the group chat. Happens sometimes. Well, let's jump into it. First things first, you guys know I was a massive fan of blockchain mages, right? I'm not gonna be the type of person who talks about something and then when it goes wrong, not own up to it. I was a massive fan of blockchain mages, right? Now, I'm gonna spare you the full synopsis from Farmer Nash, right? But for the most part, he felt like it was a rug because the game was too simple. And I had to let him know, I was like, look, I felt like for what they were asking for ADA wise, right? And first off, let's talk about blockchain mages from the beginning. It is a 2D side scroller that they're building on Cardano. It was supposed to have, small RPG elements, but something that's just, a small mobile game that you'll be able to play in a traditional style where it's like, me as someone that is not only a game developer but someone that is inspired to play games, I felt like cool, it might have a little neat story mode attached to it. And then from there we might be able to, have a sequel that shows up in the future. Well, they're supposed to do a secondary mint for potions or whatnot in game or passes in game, and then they couldn't get someone to help them with the Web3 components of it. Right? They said they reached out to a Web3 developer and they couldn't actually get them. They couldn't afford them to do the Web3 integration on the engine that they were working on. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into like the issues here. One, I definitely think they weren't asking for a lot of ADA. Some people look at that as a red flag. Me, for what they were building, they weren't building cornucopias. They weren't building Pavia. They weren't trying to build the next Mario game. They're building something that we know is someone dedicated the time and energy that they could easily be successful at. And so for me, I look at those projects the same way that I look at one of one art, where it's like, okay, this is going to have a great story. We're looking at the beginning of the next potential great game developer on Cardano. That's how I viewed it from the beginning, right? It's like their potential to build could have been something great. All they have to do is, if they have a team of three, hunker down, right? And just get in the lab and start building. The issue is that there are a number of plugins that work for Cardano, right? They could have went with the Ethereum route with Macomata, right? That still would have worked. We could have bridged it, right? It's just not doing the research, number one. Not doing that research. Number two, not really asking all the gaming projects on Cardano. I feel like, why couldn't you have reached out to someone like the Cardano Gaming Guild, right? To put you in connection with a developer that could have helped out, you know? That's something they could have easily done, but we didn't see them do it. So the issue here is that now, you know, and I understand why Farmer Nash has this massive response. They attacked him last week online. And I don't want to get into the Cardano drama stuff, but this is a project that I really believed in, so I feel like it's a must for me to discuss it. So they attacked him online, so rightfully so, he's going to rebuttal back and talk about how he felt like it was a rug pull the entire time. To me, it feels like a group of people who had the opportunity to build something great, who had a decent idea and had the support. That's the thing. They had the support, but then chose to drop the ball and then delete everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It really sucks. It really sucks because we were really admiring what they were building and the way they were going about it. Now, I would love to know their exact shortcoming. I guess, you know, you just said it. There was having an issue with a dev kind of connecting the Web3 elements to the game, which to me sounds like, you know, wallet integration, something minor like that. Now, from your perspective, Vince, because you're actual, you know, developer, you work with the team of developers. What was that worth quitting over, or you know, like what do you think? Do you think there could have been something that could have been easily resolved if they reached out to Fragment, or what do you think?
They could have easily reached out to us and we could have made it work, right? There's always an alternative. There's always a alternative, right? Even if I can't help you, I would direct you to the people that I know who can help you, right? That's what building is about. That's what this ecosystem is about. Even if I personally don't have the time and energy to do it myself, I can either show you the GitHub repositories that have that information, and if you don't have the team, if your team isn't able to implement it, I could have easily connected them with the guys from Defungify. Let's say this game was built in Unreal, right? If this is built on Unreal Engine, the Fungify is a plugin that works for all Unreal games. It works for Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Polygon, and Cardano, and we help them do their Cardano integration. So it's just like, once they would have minted whatever new NFT or whatever airdrop they had, they could have easily, you know, took some time to really connect and network with people, reached out to us, or they could have reached out to Anvil or any other group out there and actually made that connection to where it's like, okay, these are the people who are using this technology right now. No one that I've met in Cardano has been stingy with their technology. The guys from Planet Pounds, if you ask them about how they use SIP 68, they're going to tell you how they use the technology, and then they'll explain it directly. That's what I'm talking about. Like they could have easily reached out to someone. And the thing is, when you have that hype, when you have that, when you have the hype, and you're a project that's new, oftentimes fear makes you want to go fast. Now this is a bar. This is a bar. I'm gonna let y'all know this is a bar before I even say it, bro. Fear of failing makes you want to sprint to the finish line. But if we notice, Pavia takes their time, Cornucopias takes their time, Clays take their time. You know, these great projects, Ape Society takes their time. Like these great projects, they will have, you know, downtime that's in 2 to 3 months of time where it's like, okay, we need to figure out exactly how we build this next move. We need to figure out exactly what we do next. And so knowing that, I feel like Blockchain Majors gave up too early. I felt like there were times where I felt like I should reach out and be like, yo, I like what y'all are doing. Let me design a level or something like that. Because it's one of those things where it's like, as a builder, and if I like something, here's the thing: I didn't purchase Blockchain Majors. This is not my bag, right? This is not my bag. But as a developer, I liked what they're doing. I liked how they went with the strategy of let's make something that we know we can succeed at, and then they chose not to do it.
Yeah, man. I just hope a lot of people, I just hope a lot of developers and builders were watching as they did this. Because I feel like this is a great case study for anybody, you know, looking to figure out how they want to implement their gaming project. And give you, you know, kind of open your mind to, you know, different strategies that you can use to captivate the people on Cardano. You know, yeah, the way they did it was completely different. They didn't overpromise anything. They underpromised, and it was on the path to over deliver. You know what I mean? And you know, next thing you know, they pulling the rug. So it's just crazy, man. I just feel like that was wasted energy because even what they got, the ADA they got, that was nowhere nearly enough. It wasn't worth it, you know, to even start a project to do that. You know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, it's crazy, man. They come and they go. I hate to see it, but you know, what they were doing had a lot of potential. I was interested in the game. You know, I wanted to see, you know, what level of depth they had into the gameplay. Even though it was a simple game, it looked like they could have did a couple of things with the mechanics to kind of, you know, throw us off guard. But
Bro, I don't know if you know, they released a alpha demo of the first level to the holders.
they did.
Why even rugged? Why rugged? You have the first level. You're letting people play the first level. You're fixing the bugs on the first level. Why even rugged? Why
What?
like what like it makes no sense. It's a full on overreaction to like a situation that could have been prevented, right? And the thing is, it's like let's say if I could contact this person, right? I would say, hey, send me a copy of the game build. Let's see what we can do, right? But since they removed everything, they deleted everything, deleted the Discord, deleted the Twitter, deleted everything. There's nothing left, and it's just like it's one of those situations where it's really sad, and I hate to see that. But there is some hope. Some guys that are working that use Saturn IO, they're building. They're basically taking over the project via a wormhole, right? They're using SIP 68 to basically revive the project.
And what? They're using SIP 68 to revive the project. But do they
Yes,
have any of the keys? They don't need any keys or
they
anything?
don't even need the keys. Basically,
What?
um, now this is the real question, right? Um, I don't know if they purchased it or something like that, but what I believe is happening is that maybe they were able to access the keys or they talked to the original team and then that they're able to basically send these NFTs through a SIP 68 wormhole. But I think what is happening here is that the people who hold blockchain mages can actually choose to send their NFT through a wormhole that's going to have the keys for the PFP Pit Brawl team, right? That way, this project can take new life. This is the first time I'm seeing something like this. Usually, you see it in the way of people reviving a project by working in the Discord or talking to the team to get them to hand over the keys or something like that. But this is something new. I'm gonna continue to pay attention to this. No, it's not the exact same game that I was hoping for, but I do think this is it's a great look going forward. And yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with it. You know, they're supposed to be they're adding stats and whatnot to it for a profile picture based brawling game.
Yo, this is fire. Like, this is fire. Oh yeah, shout out PFP Pit Brawl. My record with iHole Twitter Space is actually playing in the game and on the website. So shout out to Pit Brawl. This is dope. This is fire. I hope we see more things like this going forward. Hey, that's mind blowing, man. So I'm excited to see where they take it and what they do with it.
I think this is one of the few times where, a lot of times we talk about community, right? This is an example of that. It's rare, right? A lot of times there's a lot of bickering and fighting and drama and whatnot, but this is one of those rare instances that we see like a real move from the community that makes sense, where people were kind of bummed out about it. And I think that, this is one of those situations where maybe there'll be new light for this project. So, JL, let's talk, man. Let's talk. Okay.
What you got, bro?
I'm not so. Every now and then we talk about Yuga Labs because they're the biggest out there, right? Sometimes we talk about Yuga Labs because they're the biggest out there. Right now, they introduced a new game. Last week we saw them announce a partnership, right? They picked up a new game studio. Now they're introducing a new game, right? Let's go to YouTube to watch this.
Hold on, another new game.
They're announcing a new game.
So they got the strategy joint too, right? The strategy joint is already out, right?
It's already out and people are playing it. It's a strategy game. Yeah, not everyone's into strategy games.
Okay.
Yeah. They got it right with this one. The trailer for this is crazy.
It already sounds crazy. Rec League, it sounds crazy already. I ain't gonna lie.
Fire. Like it's this is what I want from Web3 games. This is one of the ones. That bring it on the former CEO of Activision. I have my apprehensions on if they can make real interesting Web3 projects and whatnot and Web3 games. This one, bro. Okay, I'm just. Let me stop talking about it. Let me get up out the way.
That look fire. That looks super fire. Do we have any gameplay? Do we have gameplay?
The trailer is cool. All right. The trailer is cool. All right. There is a clip of gameplay out there.
I need it. I need it.
Now, this is the thing. Like, when you see this gameplay, it is. When you see this gameplay, it is maybe the first time I felt like, whoa, while watching Web3 gameplay. This is...
All right, man. You putting it out there. You can't take it back. You can't take it back, man. Why don't you put it out there?
This is gameplay from Rec League.
Oh, hold on. It's a fighting game?
It's a fighting game.
Oh, a fighter? Oh wow. Oh wow. Hold on. A fighter? That's up my alley, bro. I love fighters.
I'll be honest with you. I was surprised. Of course, they're letting certain influencers get early access to start streaming and showing the game and whatnot. It's in it's a partnership with Yuga Labs. But just look at this gameplay. Look how good this looks. Just I'll turn back on the sound, but this just looks amazing. I'm excited for this. If this is the new standard of what the major projects are going to be releasing, then I'm ready for Web3 gaming. And I don't think that people that are playing Web2 games are ready yet. I think that this is going to pave the way. And if this is the alpha or the early beta, I'm blown away. I didn't think people were like moving like this just yet. I thought we were still maybe a year and a half away from this style of fighting game that's going to be blockchain based or have some sort of blockchain integration. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, this is lit. I, I'm really watching the gameplay. I'm watching like the style of fighter it is. It looks like it's giving me like strategic, like a strategic fighter game. Like it looks very strategic. So, man, I'm ready to get my hands on this. So I'm ready to do I definitely see the Gundam, the Gundam type vibe already. Rec League. Okay. I'm interested to see the mechanics of the game, like how you actually play the game. Cause I can tell there's more depth to it. Like it's not just you can pick it up and play, but you might get beat down, like I want to figure out like what's actually going on. So there's fire that they got what's the name playing it too. Stash. They got Stash playing it. Man, I need to get up with Stash, man. We need to get Stash on Worlds Within game night. Definitely get him. He's definitely one of the homies, man.
Definitely, that'd be awesome. I really like what they're doing with Rec League. I think this is a an awesome addition to the Yugo Labs portfolio. Um, like I said, I applied for a allow list. I'm waiting to see if I can get access to play. This is one of the ones, man. This is one of those ones where it's just like it's feels good to see projects building. Feels good to actually see that there is a sort of like a future of Web3 that's on its way that people aren't prepared for. I don't think audiences are ready for Rec League just yet, but I do think it has the potential to be one of those games that really breaks through to Web2 audiences.
Yeah, I think it can too as well, man. Yeah, it just seems like his games coming out left and right, man, that has a lot of like marketability and appeal like to mainstream as of late, man. So this is wild, man. It looks like Web3 gaming is kind of revving up right now. I think this is the farthest that we've been. Like we never actually, of course we've seen games, but to this magnitude, and now we got Yuga, they're one of the, the top NFT project, you know what I mean? So it's like when they come through with games, it's like, oh man, the whole industry has to follow suit. Like now you're gonna have everybody and their mama try to put out a game on Web3, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I do want to jump into the next topic. A while back, we had the opportunity to talk about Makasi. Makasi, they're doing great. They finally released their, I guess like to me it's almost like a mixture of like Animal Crossing and Tamagotchi, right? Where it's like you have this pet and you maintain and take care of it and you get rewards for playing mini games and bonuses that are in game as well, and you earn like the Makasi coin, the MCOS or MCOS, right? And that was blowing up a while back, but they have a new PvP game on the way, and I gotta say, it the trailer for it, bro.
You know
Like I
what?
said, this is It's been a wild week on Cardano and in Web3 gaming. The trailers that are coming out right now and the games that are being released, I don't know how close they are to releasing this, right? And I don't hold any Makasi, y'all, but this looks good. I gotta
They
be real
showing
with you.
hold on, they showing gameplay. I know
This looks good.
I seen the mint. I think they're still minting too. I think the mint is still alive, but I had no idea they were coming out with a card game. They already got the game, the pet game out. I didn't know they were coming out with this. So man, this is
Builders building,
crazy.
bro. Builders are building right now. That's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's the build market, not the bear market. It's the build
Fact,
market. Builders are building.
facts. Let's get into this trailer, man. I need to see this because I have not seen it.
I wish I wish I had the access to the actual trailer itself. That way I could put it full screen and whatnot. But this is the trailer.
Hold on, you can click the thing in the bottom right corner. It should make it bigger.
Ah,
There you go.
oh, okay. Oh,
It's not playing the sound. I don't know if it's supposed to though. It probably won't because it's from Twitter.
I think it's because it's for Twitter as well.
Yeah.
But look at that gameplay. I'm actually surprised they're this far along with it for the event to be
Yeah.
happening right now.
This
I
is
was
the first
hoping,
time they showed it too. So it's wild.
and it's the Makasi team. So we know they're gonna like at this rate. I don't expect them to release an alpha and disappear, right? I do expect them to actually just like fully build the game and release it. But that's what we have to kind of deal with right now. We have to deal with projects and teams proving themselves over time, and then eventually we'll have studios that pop up where it's like those studios consistently release games over and over again. I think that Fragment has the opportunity to be one of those studios on Cardano or a multi-chain studio in general. And so, I love what Makasi's doing. I love the fact that they're showing early gameplay while the minute is happening. To me, I feel like this is the next level of Web3 gaming. And, you know, I'm excited to see what they do. This is hype right now.
Yeah, it's definitely hype. Yeah, it looks good, man. It looks great. Gameplay it just looks like a regular game. Doesn't look like Web3 is even associated. Like you can't even really tell from a regular, just from a regular viewpoint or perspective. It just looks like a good card game. You know.
Absolutely. And I think that, well, I definitely think that we're going to see more of these style of games going forward. I'm excited to see other teams that are still building on Cardano. I know that we oftentimes don't have the opportunity to talk about some projects that don't get the limelight a lot. But there is one that I want to mention that's been a long time builder on Cardano that does not get the love that they deserve, right? And I know you guys probably think I'm talking about myself, right? And you would be right in most cases, right? You would be right in most cases that I would be talking about myself in this manner, but this time I'm not talking about myself in this manner. Um, I think that, right now, like I said, there's a bunch of cool stuff that's happening on Cardano. And this happened a while back, but we were asking on Twitter, like, which projects do does our community want to see mentioned in that light more often, right? And we had someone reply that one of the projects that's been building that doesn't get a lot of shine, that doesn't get a lot of the limelight, is the OG Bears, right? Now I remember
Oh
when
man, the OG Bears. I ain't heard that name in a minute, but I know they've been building the whole time. They
building,
always building, bro. For years, they've been building.
building, and that's the thing. It's like they're not getting a lot of love out there, but so I do want to take this moment to show some love to them, to show love to the builders, right? This week has been a strange week when it comes to stuff that's happening on Cardano. Um, this game, OG Bears release, it is on Android and iOS stores right now. It's in collaboration with the Bad Fox Motorcycle Club. If I remember, Crib released a song to dedicated to this game in particular for the OG Bears and Bad Fox Motorcycle Club. So shout out to Crib. I also think that, guys, we got to support these style of games, right? If we want to have more situations where these teams want to build more in this ecosystem, this is what it requires, right? It's not just about the 3 or 4 projects that get mentioned in every post, right? It's also about the teams that are building this style of games. I want to see them build more games because they're showing up, they're completing games, and then they continue to, knock out things that are on the roadmap. And so, yeah. So I just want to show them some love after the stuff that happened with blockchain mages. Um, Now the Zenitsu Dragons, I know that happened this week, and um, it's not really a place for me to get into that one because typically we only mention gaming projects, right? I think that one of the best parts about Web3 is the gaming aspect, but it has to be said that with what's going on right now, guys, you have to remember this is the bear market. You know, the teams that have been around for years, they're still here to build, but there's always going to be that associated risk when you're in Web3, right? There's been a lot of talk about what's happening with Muesli Swap and that, the DeFi area on Muesli Swap hasn't been, I guess, performing. I don't want to say up to par, but they haven't been performing in a legitimate manner. And I think that type of stuff can happen, but catching it early and holding these teams accountable is exactly what we as a community have to do if we want to see them improve. With that being said, my heart is going out to anyone that participated in these projects that disappear rug. And as for the Dragons project, I feel like they were experimenting with DeFi, they were doing some sort of bot system, and then from there, as the founder, he thought he was working with someone he can consistently work with for an extended period of time, and that person, essentially scammed him and backed out on him. Now, that can happen in Web3. JL, I'll give you a second to speak on that if you want.
Yeah, yeah, I'm kind of familiar with it. And I think you pronounce their name Zutaku. I think it's Zutaku. But yeah, like I was kind of familiar with the project. I'm familiar with the founder of the project. Shout out him. I can't remember his name right now. Crypto Gonzo. Shout out to Crypto Gonzo. But yeah, that's one of the main concerns when that project came out. For people who don't know, that project is really based on basically how they're doing it is they had an arbitrage bot, right? They had a trading bot. You know what I mean? And the way it works is, you pay your fee and they actually had someone operating the bot. It wasn't their bot, but their whole plan was to build their own bot, pretty much to save up profits to build their own bot eventually, right? So what ended up happening was, and that was one of my main concerns. That's one of the reasons why I didn't, dive into the project for real, because that was one of the questions I had asked. Is like, hey, how do we know we can trust this guy that's doing the bot? Like, he may get in a situation, you know what I mean? Like, the only person we can trust is the actual founder of the project. And so when you start talking about the livelihood of the project being in the hands of someone else outside of your own, as a founder, that's when things get kind of shaky. So that's definitely one of the concerns I had, with the project. And that's why I never jumped into it. So I definitely seen this, and pretty much what happened was the guy running the bot, he just ran off. He just literally, and the way they were doing it, I think they were like taking the profits. He was basically using the bot, and he would take a certain amount of the profits. He would take a percentage for himself, which is, yeah. What was that? What was that, Vince?
I think I just had a massive lag spike. Just everything just died for me, dude. Like,
okay.
So, go ahead. The last part I heard was you're saying that he was taking a percentage of the profits.
Yeah. So, he was taking the bots and the bot, and he was trading, and he would issue out the profits, but he would take his percentage and then issue out the profits back to Crypto Gonzo and the guys. And then also another concern is they were saying they were letting it build up like their profits, and then they're gonna take profits at a certain time. And I was like, why would you do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like it was kind of, I'm not gonna say it wasn't unorganized, but it was just very risky, very like, red flaggish, you know what I mean? So I'm not really surprised that something like that happened, especially in this space, man. You never know.
Since you mentioned the word risk, I do want to shout out the boys from the risk team. You know what I'm saying? The good folks. I know it's a terrible transition, but I felt like it was necessary. And I don't want to make light of the situation. I think that as a founder, it's easy to make those type of mistakes. I think it's super easy to make those type of mistakes, whether it's from, a lot of times in Web3, we want founders who don't have experience with other projects, right? We want first time founders, right? Because they could be the new person that could take things to the next level. We assume that we're going to get the same thing we got before with previous founders. But I think that in this situation, when you're when you're talking to someone who didn't build the bot themselves, when you're talking to someone who didn't have access to the keys, essentially, they're not controlling the account. They're using someone else's essentially. It's the same risk that you have with any centralized system. And at some point, we're in blockchain for the decentralized aspect of it. What's the model we always say? Not your keys, not your crypto. Now, I will say AI Love brought up this point when he was speaking about it earlier today. So I do want to shout him out and saying that that was a good point that he brought up. At the same time, I look at Crypto Gonzo, and I had the opportunity to talk to him when we were early in the Chaos Factions met, and I liked everything that they were doing with the project. I didn't get a chance to participate. You guys know when I get in build mode, I head down. I'm building. I'm not looking up. That's how I operate. So I miss out on a lot of projects and whatnot. But it's tough to see people who have good intentions, and because they're in this Web3 space, be taken advantage of. And I hate that happens. But at the same time, the portion that took advantage of him was the fact that he was operating with Web2 people. So that risk is still there, right? It's just like they should have had some sort of contract drawn up. They should have had lawyers involved, people, accountants involved. Not just a buddy system based on trust. And I think that sometimes that can be the detriment to a project. Now, there's one last project I want to talk about, and actually two projects I want to talk about. Right. This first project is one that I mentioned earlier for a second, and it's not one that's on everyone's radar, right? But recently, they've been getting closer and closer to releasing their game, and they're supposed to be having demos out soon. So, this is the trailer for Planet Pals. They've been around weapons for a long time, right? Parts of this already exist. I will say I do hold a small amount of these NFTs, and that's just for clarity. But for
Interplanetary Games presents
this looks good.
Planet
right?
Pals.
I feel like this is the style of game
Sol is
that
dying,
I'm super
and Cosmos
interested
needs a new ruler.
in playing. And I'm not saying that because I hold it, y'all. One, the team behind it is Stale, and a team that he hired to help build the game. He brought on an additional CEO. And once again, this is not any sort of promotion, and this is not because it's my bag or anything like that. It's just the fact that, I do want to talk about different games that are happening and different games that we'll potentially be playing. So because I will have access to this game, I do want to mention it before we play it on stream and whatnot. So I'm super excited about it. I do like the PvP elements that are a part of it. I know because I'm looking at this on Twitter, there's no sound. That's kind of why I'm talking over it. But, I say don't let the art aesthetic drive you away. really take a look at the in-game combat system, the fact that you're fighting bosses. They've already built a number of elements in the game that already exist that are usable right now. And so, like I said, today I just really want to shout out some of the projects that are actually building and making games that have been around for a while. And yeah, it's just one of those things where the blockchain majors thing definitely got to me this week, along with some of the other stuff that has been happening on Cardano. So I just want to shout out the people that have been building, bro. It's that simple. Shout out to the builders, bro.
Yeah, major shout out to Planet Piles, man. They've been building for a while. Man, I've seen it go through so many different iterations, and I'm really pleased with this kind of final build of the product. It looks lit. It looks different. It looks like a free to play game on Steam, right? Looks like something that you pull up on Steam and you can just jump right into gameplay. And that is a great sign, especially for Cardano. Like, it's a great sign, man. Like, I'm really feeling this vibe right now. A while ago, I did a gaming space and I invited some people from some other chains to talk about Cardano gaming and talk about their gaming too as well. And like, I actually talked to some people that I met right through that space, and they said, "Yeah, I came to Cardano for the gaming." Like, heard several people say that, and it was mind blowing to me. I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, I came to Cardano for gaming." Like, I talked to several people that said that, and this was probably like a year ago. There, and this was around the time that Payma, I think that's how you say it, Payma or Pima, they came out with their game, right? And that was just really giving you a time frame of how long ago it was. But I've definitely heard people say they come to Cardano for gaming. So this is giving me a vibe like gaming is a thing on Cardano. Like, it's starting to definitely, I'm starting to see it come out little by little.
Absolutely. I'm excited for the builders, man. I'm excited to play some of these games. I think that we have a number of major tier projects that are building. We have a lot of mid tier projects, and we have projects that are building smaller games as well. Um, to kind of wrap things up this week, I want to talk about one final game, right? And that is the Heartbreak Club game.
Let's go.
So this is something that we built, you know, a long time ago. Well, give me 1 second. There we go. All right. So this is something we built a long time ago, and really not a long time ago. But man, when you're in Web3, it feels like 2 months, 3 months is a lifetime, right? So of course we built the Heartbreak Club game. It has a very simple game loop, but it's the start of something that we're doing with Fragment, and that is we're building simple games, and then we're connecting Web3 elements to them, and then making them accessible for everyone. The Heartbreak Club game is a top-down shooter. It's a wave shooter. Basically, when you play, give me 1 second. Excuse me.
Oh, the map looks lit.
And so I do have the sound off currently, but it's one of these things where because I'm streaming, it's a little bit laggy, but overall, it's a seamless experience, right? If I wasn't streaming, it wouldn't be so laggy. But it's just one of these games where it's like we feel like, we want to be one of those teams that consistently delivers games and gaming related assets to our community, right? And then with our Fragment accounts, right? And you guys as participants in the worlds within the ecosystem, you're going to be able to have in-game bonuses and rewards based off of the games that we're building. So, like, as of right now, this isn't a massive this isn't a massive task for us, but it's one that's going to take us some time to get correct, obviously, right? And we want to make it so it's the best experience possible. And so one of the things that you'll see here soon is currently the Heartbreak Club game does not have the Wallet Connect attached to it, but it's one of those things where I'm gonna throw it in the chat for anyone who may want to play it, and I'll also show the link on screen just in case anyone wants to play it as well. But it's one of those things where it's like this is what we're aiming towards. We want to be able to make it so that we can build fun games for our community members that are going to be long lasting and whatnot, and so that they can have this experience of playing different games. And so eventually we'll have a leaderboard that's attached to it. That way people can check out their scores and get different ranks and whatnot and compete with others, and that will be attached to their Fragment accounts. So this is kind of what I want to leave you guys with this week. I appreciate, well, JL, I got to go to you first. I'm trying to wrap up and run out of here, man. But
Yeah, man. Yeah. Very excited. To show you guys a little more, of the Heartbreak Club game. You guys go ahead and click that link. Go ahead and check it out. Yeah, we're gonna definitely get in touch with you guys, let you guys know about the Fragment accounts as soon as those drop, and talk about some of the, perks and rewards of actually, logging into the account as you go from game to game within the Fragment ecosystem. So yeah, super excited about the Heartbreak Club game. You guys check that out. This was another great episode of Worlds Within Game Night, man. Very excited, very hyped, like every time we do this show, man, because it's kind of like my dose of gaming news. You know what I mean? So I definitely look forward to it. But yeah, I'm hyped. I'm excited. It's been a great week in gaming for Web3. So yeah, man, I can't wait to see the whole thing just unfold, just watching it unfold and also being a part of it. The revolution that is, crypto gaming.
I could not have said it better, JL. Once again, I appreciate you for being on Game Night tonight. I want to shout out to everyone that tuned in. Of course, Dr. C and Dice, I see you there in the chat. Much love, everyone, and anyone that tunes in on Twitter or on YouTube. Much appreciated to all you guys out there. Also, like I said, Fragment account news next week for sure. More Heartbreak Club game news next week. Right now, I feel like there's an opportunity for people who are building games in Web3 that are actually completing games and allowing people to play them. I'm not expecting every project to be cornucopious, but I am expecting, people to deliver on the games that they talk about making, and I feel like those projects are the people who deserve the attention. So once again, I want to shout out Makasi. I want to shout out Planet Pals. Of course, I want to shout out the Rec League guys, right? They're killing it. I think there's a number of projects out there that are doing the right things, like the OG Bears, where it's like they're consistently showing up and building, whether they get the love and the rewards or not. And that's what it's about, man. Like, if you believe in this technology and, you're going to build for our audience, whether they're here just yet or not. So shout out to them. Much love from me, you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.